Over open. And in Baku, European Games, she picked up a bronze. Not going to talk about the European Games, are we? That's another one where you've ended up with a bit of damage to yourself.
Yeah, unfortunately I just managed to miss out on that, but I heard it from my teammates, heard it was a very good event and everything. It was obviously the inaugural games, so yeah, apparently Baku did a very good job of hosting that.
Fantastic event it was. Now, bronze medalist in Turkey was TATAR, so I needed to pick up a medal in front of a home crowd.
Especially in that short distance, my head will tell you that. But I love that she just said, you know what, this is my ring, and she went straight in there with that
TATAR knocking out the #1 ranked Ellen Johansson very early on in this contest as well.
Yeah, and I think Ellen Johansson's one of those really modern players. She's got brilliant leg control, so TATAR's done very well to beat her, especially in the fashion that she did.
In fact, what I meant to say was, going to correct myself here, TATAR knocked out Calvo Gomez, who'd knocked out Johansson. However, what I wanted to point out was that Gomez did that by beating Johansson 8-0.
Yeah.
What a surprise result that was from earlier in the day. But then TATAR came up against her. Somebody who was clearly quite buoyant was Gomez. She went into that contest and TATAR said goodbye to her. These two just trying to get the measure of each other so far here.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's the first time I've seen it really open up. It's been quite cagey until now. There's a great effort with the back kick, not quite doing enough to score. Yeah, not a lot of speed in this first round so far. Understandably so. Those huge points on offer really are, well, you just don't want to lose them. No, definitely not. It's that's why you can see it's quite slow, quite cagey. Often you can see people are afraid of letting that first point go, and they'd always rather have it nice and tight at a level rather than be behind, or taking a risk and be behind this early on.
And always being encouraged to be more proactive when it comes to the contest, but with a few seconds left, these two have seen out round #1. Well, welcome to Taekwondo, where it can either be purely electric, or sometimes they just want to see what the other one's got first.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely the case. Someone slow down the pace, right, nice and slow, not a lot of movement, a few cagey kicks, just to see what if they are going to open up, what are they going to open up with, and how you can exploit that.
Well, if either of them was looking for a weakness in the other, didn't find it in that first round of 3. So it's up to the coaches to earn their crust and inspire, maybe just deliver what they witnessed during that round that you might not have spotted, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's it's great having the coaches. I like they're in suits now as well. I think it adds a bit to the sport, and it adds a bit to this finals bit of the day. But yeah, no, the coaches are brilliant. I think it's great that they can go back at the end of the round and get that bit of advice, because it adds those little bits of magic to people's games that it makes it great for spectators.
I'll tell you what the coaches will tell you whilst they're wearing their suits, that it's hot in here. I'm not wearing a suit and I know it's hot, so they'll be feeling that, plus the tension of being out there at the side of the mat, desperately willing on their player into the next round. Of course, the next round is the final at this point. Now, a slight advantage, you say, TATAR, with that yellow card for Still, there is, in fact, that's a double advantage, because TATAR has indeed registered the first point in this contest.
Yeah, she did really well. She went really deep and long with that front leg, because every time she kicks, HYERI is going backwards. So it's a great idea to go a bit longer and score that point.
Would be worth 3 points. TATAR, we talk about the composure, but HYERI using the hand just to try and confuse the opponent. One of the things the Koreans always do.
Well, these two are hardly challenging the cameramen at the moment. They are holding their ground which the longer it goes on, the more it plays into the hands of the young lady from Turkey. The world champion needs to find something, and something in her eye rather than anything.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say TATAR's in brilliant control here. She's really doing well with the front leg, and she's started to go a little bit deeper because she's seeing that HYERI's going back every time she attacks.
Just under left in this one, HYERI.
Silver medal at the World Championships. Hard earned, hard fought. Eventually beaten by Chung Cha Cha, who is in the second of our semi-finals, so she'll be looking to try and exact some revenge for that World Championship by taking the maximum qualifying points towards Rio. And well, that's the end of the second. At least we found some point scoring.
Yeah, definitely. But I think you can see here TATAR's in really great control. Like I said, she's doing very well just to use that distance that HYERI is creating every time she attacks and just go nice and long. But even that time when HYERI closed down, she did well to find a second action and find that second point to take her score to 2-0.
Olympic ranked number 8, 2012 European champion, silver this year in the Worlds in
just wiping off the sweat, and most of that caused by evading and waiting rather than advancing and attacking. And I noticed this a little bit earlier. Maybe that she picked up a knock in the earlier rounds, but she's been having that iced neck. Not just here in the semi-final, she certainly had it in the quarter-final. I think I saw it in the round before that as well, so maybe something she's picked up either pre the event or in the very early rounds.
Yeah, definitely. Could be something that's bothering her a little bit, holding her back a little bit. She's not opened up too much yet. Could be the reason why, but now she's definitely in a position where she has to.
The final 120 seconds to do something with. What will she do with it? The under 73 kilogram world champion must find point scoring, but that is one for her. But at the same time, the distance stays exactly the same because TATAR gets a point for that second yellow card for O.
Yeah, it was a good point that she scored there, but I'm not sure it was a great idea because she fell over in order to do it, so just kept the score, the distance and score the same. But TATAR's doing very well here to spoil and work as well. She's mixing it up quite well. She's making it very hard for HYERI to work out what she needs to do to get these points back.
One of those rules we saw sort of fairly early in its lifespan last year at the Grand Prix, and a big change in style. Have you had to adapt? Have you seen many people adapting?
Yeah, definitely. I think you can't quite extend for those last ditch efforts quite as much, because if you do fall over, obviously it's half a point in effect, and every time if you do it twice, then it's a point to your opponent. So sometimes it's not quite worth taking that extra risk, but I think it does add to the sport. It makes it look more effective, it's more realistic, because you can't just fall over all the time.
TATAR receives a second yellow card, which gives a second point, but TATAR with a wonderfully timed single point here to make it 4-2.
And that was a beautiful back leg. It was really short because you can see now HYERI's come on the front foot, and she just took advantage of her doing that. Scored a beautiful, nice short back leg and took that point. Again, that punch, the attempt at a punch there by TATAR was brilliant because she's using, and there she scored that exact same point there. She's using HYERI's advancement. HYERI's always coming forwards, perhaps a bit too much, a bit too wild now, and TATAR's taking absolute advantage of that to score points.
Oh, needs to come up with something here. 5-2. Is that the moment? It is indeed. 5 apiece here. 16 seconds on the clock when that came in. And all the hard work that TATAR has put in. She's already managed to peg one back again. 6-5. This is bursting into life in the final few seconds, as you probably expected it would do. 3 seconds to go here. And, well, this is being contested here, and Ruben, explain about the coach's role here. What's going on?
So each coach will have a card, either a red card if they play as the red athlete, or blue if they play as the blue athlete. And if they see something that they think their athlete has done, so scored a headshot, for example, they can put their card up, and the referees will then use the video replay system to judge whether it had scored. Of course, now as we have the electronic head guards, the kick has to have touched the face. It can't have touched the head guard, because otherwise it would be deemed to have not hit hard enough to get your point.
So nervy times then as the officials around the outside take a look and make their decision. You can see the action being replayed. This is the system the officials are using. And it's been refused. 3 seconds. This has got to be huge from O. The clock goes down to 0, and the score stays exactly as they were. 6-5. Hard fought. Not the explosion of activity you sometimes come to expect. But NUR TATAR has done the job.
Yeah, definitely. She did really well towards the end of that round, just to stay active and keep fighting and keep scoring her own points rather than just shutting down and trying to defend what she had. She tried to extend the lead further, and that's why she's going through now.
So far in this Grand Prix, all the semi-finals have been won by